And we are live. How's it going, everyone? What's up? Oh, shaking the camera, shaking the
Don't do that.
camera. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope everyone is doing well. Think we are doing well. You doing okay?
Yeah.
You've been under a lot of stress lately, haven't you?
Yes.
Kind of freaking out a little bit this morning, weren't you?
A little bit.
It's
I don't know. I'm excited about this summit event that's coming up like next week.
coming up fast.
But I don't know. I don't know what possessed me to try to do that while we're starting to build our house. Crazy.
Well, I think you had that idea for the event, and it's just bad timing. It's just bad, like the way everything worked out with the projects and the thing.
But I was excited about it. Like, oh, let's do this, and then you're like, all right, okay.
Yeah, no, I mean it was a very cool idea, but like even then, like when you came up with it, I was like, man, it seems like a pretty ambitious project. And then like so little time before it like rolled in. And now it's like game time. It's like 1 week away. We got a lot of people in here. In here. Geeky Gardens, Almost Homestead, Tech Nerds TV, Raven Reese, Vicky from Fort Worth, Texas, the Apricot Tiny House, Raven Reese. I have a water question. Go ahead with your question. What's your water question? Tarl Speakman, how's everyone doing tonight? Heirloom Permaculture?
What?
18th birthday, yelled out loud.
Ready?
Ready. Happy birthday! Ha ha! Yeah! So cool, so cool. But this event should be pretty exciting. A lot of cool people involved. That's awesome. A lot of cool people involved in the event. A lot of exciting channels. Lots of good information in there. Okay, so we have raw land in McNeil. Is there anywhere to get water delivery to fill water tanks? Yes. Not many people like this answer, but there's a place.
It's actually in Douglas.
It's in Douglas,
but it's pretty close to McNeil.
What's it called again?
Maddox and
Sons. Maddox and Sons.
So it's kind of like a, what would you call it? Like a quarry type. They have different.
They sell a lot of gravel.
Rocks and
all your gravel and machinery needs. The place is a wonderful bastion, especially if you're living off grid trying to do projects. It can be a huge help.
But they have water there.
They do water delivery. It's city water. Comes right from the city, and it gets into a tank that is not sanitized regularly. It only houses water, but it's not like regularly sanitized. So technically, it's non-potable water. But we have used it for drinking and bathing and everything like that. Anything for consumption always got filtered. But we've never had any issues with it. We've had neighbors that have used that water for drinking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
drinking and
cooking.
Sure
if you're drinking it, get it filtered properly.
Yeah, and we use the Berkey and it's been fine. Grace Andrews, how are you doing? We're doing good. Hey Jessica, did you get my file?
I have not checked since your last email, but I'll check again. I saw that email, and we
so
also
sorry for this. I apologize.
We did get something really cool from Almost Homestead.
We did.
Contributing to the giveaway for the summit.
Giveaway is just getting better. I was like, what? Did Jay from Almost Homestead send us a gift? Then I read, oh, for the giveaway. Oh, okay. No, that's pretty sweet. Really sweet knife.
Yeah, it's like a Swedish made knife for, which is good for I think like hunting, camping, bushcrafting type things. Really durable.
Yeah, we're gonna put it up for the
Solid.
giveaway, but if the person doesn't want it, if the giveaway
We
person's
might
like,
use.
I really don't want this knife, I think I might be able to find someone that could put that to use. The Apricot Tiny House says, what course are you on? Good question. It's all in tomorrow's video, but we're up to course number 4. And we had to take a little break. We got so much going on right now. I had to put the house build on hold for a little bit. So we're working on a bunch of things in conjunction, but right now we got to get all the stuff for the event ready. Course number 4. About a quarter of the way done, really. Larry Parrish, how's it going? Simply Pam, what's up?
Very important question. Do you have bees coming into your trailer?
Very good question. No, we have never had bees come into our trailer.
They've tried.
They've tried. They've come up to the door, but they've never tried getting into any of the compartments or anything like that. Motorhome's a different question. They love the motorhome for some reason.
They
But
haven't gone in there
but they
recently.
haven't gone in there since we've been out here. I hope they're not having issues with that. You're not having issues with that, are you? I think they are. Living off grid McGarvey style. What's up?
Arvin Kim asks, how are you accessing internet out there?
Very good question. Very good question. It's all mobile internet. We tried with a local dish company, which offers like a line of sight internet, but they can't get a signal up here. But I'm actually glad that we didn't go that route. So we did have Verizon for the longest time, and that worked. That's about the only kind of internet we could have out here is Verizon, and it's kind of expensive, and hotspot data was limited to 15 gigs a month. We have now switched to Vision mobile, and that has been working out fantastic. Still on the Verizon network, so it's been working out fabulous. That's what we're using now to live stream, and no data limits. I think the hotspot speed is capped, but there's no limit to how much you can use.
Yeah, that's been okay.
Oh, you're gonna knock out the phone? Oh, you're gonna knock out the stand? Huh? Oh, Crew needs attention now. He needs attention now that we're live.
We're going to rain catch, but need something to start off with. Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing we did before we got a rain catchment set up. We had some just our poly tanks, storage tanks, and then we got water delivered.
Yeah, and we had to do that. I think was it 2 times? That was just 2 times, twice, right? Before we got water catchment.
I think so. Bees are trying to move in, getting about 20 a day. Ooh.
Yikes. Yeah,
be careful.
What would you got? Yeah, there might be some techniques you can use to maybe make the a little less desirable and maybe make more friendly places in the distance. Maybe try building a beehive somewhere for a home for them, or water sources away from the the camper. That might be water being around there might be drawing them toward that, right?
Goodness. Liz Carter.
Oh, Houston Firefox, Liz Carter and Houston Firefox. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Farm Alarm. What's up, Farm Alarm? You guys are doing good things. Keep it up, Jim and Jessica. Hashtag Earthbag. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the Earthbag, man, has been a really intense building technique, but I think we've been enjoying it. Or no? I'm looking at you.
Yes.
It's a lot of tough work doing all the digging and shoveling and filling the bags, but I'm enjoying the technique. You gotta keep it. Wait, I might be really far behind. I gotta let you take a. Uh,
Yes, the poop is wearing safety glasses.
safety is our number one priority, even the poo pillow. No, Jay, we'll be putting that up for the the giveaway. I'm just playing. It is a nice knife though.
Yes.
Arvin Kim asks, "Where did you do your PDC?" Both of us, we took it different years, but we went through the Jeff Lawton online PDC course, which is fantastic. No complaints about it. It seems like it gets better every year. I mean, it was really good when you took it, but when I took it, I mean, they revamped it, and it's like was so incredibly thorough.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes it's nice to go to like an on-site thing where you can, interact in person and get hands-on experience. But with the online thing, I mean, it was very thorough. So extensive.
and there's always opportunities for Q&A sessions with Jeff Lawton himself. He makes himself very available during those things, so um, and that's super helpful too. And then when you submit your design at the end of the course, I mean, it gets reviewed by not only it gets reviewed by members of the team. They have a team that goes over all the designs, but then Jeff Lawton himself like gives a note on each one. Like so he checks over each design to give details and pointers and stuff like that.
Yeah, Pam said they're thinking it might be the mini split.
Yeah.
Tracking the bees.
Yeah, that could very well be. I'd say anything you can do to try and help keep the bees away. If you can get moisture to other areas, like what do you have set up for the bees? Is like you have like that bird bath, and the bees love that.
Mm.
Maybe like that clay dish you have.
The other source of water is they're using is that one that I put out actually for the javelinas.
They've been going
That's
there.
more like a metal trough type thing. And then I put sticks in there, and then they sit on the sticks and drink the water. But that's kind of like further away.
So Farm Alarm asks, have you ever had the rainwater tested? I've always wondered about chemicals from the air and such in the rainwater. Technically, no, we've never had the rainwater tested. But honestly, rainwater is probably about the cleanest water you can get.
That's what I've heard. It would be interesting to test it.
It'd be interesting to test it, but I mean, obviously, city water's been treated. It's been through a lot of sources and stuff like that. Um, any sources, any water you get from like wells and stuff like that, your groundwater groundwater is usually going to be a little bit more contaminated than even then. Yeah, like if you're worried about like what the rain might pick up on your way down from the as far as rainfall, I'd be more concerned about like if you're concerned about like what the rain might pick up. I mean, you're breathing that in, so be aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be a bigger concern if you're concerned about like the air pollutants. But rainwater is just about the one of the cleanest forms you can get. It'd be interesting to test those out and see how rainwater stacks up against your city water, your well water, and stuff like that. But it's honestly some of the best water you can use for growing plants and everything like that.
How much water do you both use in a year?
Well, I'd say well, that's tough. I would probably use about 20 to 25 gallons a day, right? So I don't know. I don't want to do the math on that. But we probably used about half of our water storage in between the rainfall, right? In the driest time. About maybe what's that, 4 months? 2,000 gallons maybe?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if we're using like 20 gallons a day, wouldn't that be close to like 5,000 in a year?
No. It's probably,
somewhere around there.
so it might be around 5,000 to 6,000 a year. Houston Firefox says, I thought after the Cistern you guys would have taken a break. Nope, no breaks. We're motivated to get the house done. We need a place to live. Yeah, it's just like as far as the trailer goes, it's not so much the lack of room in here. I think the room does okay, but it's just incredibly inefficient. We definitely need some place, that deals with the heat and the cold here of the high desert a little bit better.
Junior P says, was talking to someone in Bisbee about building codes, and with the opt out, she stated there's still building codes. Yeah, I mean, I think technically there's still building codes, but they don't inspect for that.
Yeah, I mean, and there are some inspections you still have to go through. Even with the opt out, you still got to do your setback inspection, your septic inspection. But and the codes still exist. They just don't inspect for that, which can be good and can be bad. Obviously, you still kind of want to build up to code or better. You don't want to use this as an opportunity to
cut corners.
Cut corners.
Or do something that's not safe.
But it just frees you up to do things on your own. You can do things a little faster, a little cheaper that way. And because sometimes so codes obviously favor contractors, and sometimes contractors don't even do that great of a job. The job is to do better than the contractors would do. How is Crew tonight? Crew's doing pretty good. Of course, he's just licking me kind of frantically, so I don't know if he needed something, but he's kind of chilled out now. He's doing okay.
He's by the door. He might be a little hot or something.
Oh yeah, that could be. Brainstorm makers, how's it going? Backcountry preps, what's up? I did that. I water them twice a day, and I tried spraying peppermint. We'll think on that. We'll brainstorm some solutions. We'll figure something out. Uh-oh. Your mom says she wants to contribute to the giveaway. What's the deadline?
Ooh, I'll send you a text.
Wait, what's going on? 7,300, so 10K would be a good 10K would be a good supply. Did I miss something?
For the water usage, probably.
Yeah, it could be. I would just, really you got to figure out how much water storage you would need to get you through any of those dry times. So like what we have here, I think would probably be like a bare minimum of like 4,000 to 5,000. We have been getting by on that, but yeah, 10,000 that'd be a good supply. I think that's what like Derek from Handyman and Joe from Homesteadonomics, I think that's about what they have. And Derek, I think, from Handyman is a little bit more water conscious. But I don't think Joe's super tight with his water use. And sometimes Joe gets a little bit. Sometimes Joe needs a water delivery. I think maybe once a year or something like that. But pretty much they get by on it.
Bees love bird baths with a cloth laid in it to suck up the water. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Backcountry Preps, thank you for the super chat. Love you guys. Hardest working homesteaders around. Mad respect, homies.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Opt out AZ. About the same here, 150 gallons a week. So I hear you about that inefficient. Yeah, I know they want to get that house set up too. I'll have to see the comparison on different water sources. Do a video on it. Side note: I bet water tasted great 6,000 years ago. Probably. I'm sure it did. The whole different water game back then. What happens if you don't finish within 2 years? You can always get an extension, I know, for another year. But I mean, the county's pretty good, and I don't think they would hardball you too much on that. Yeah, I think they usually work with people, getting things done. I think just as long as you're probably making progress on it, not that you haven't done anything in that given amount of time. Wouldn't you say?
I don't know. I haven't been there.
Well, yeah, but they're usually pretty good to work with, right? You haven't had any bad
We haven't-
experiences with them.
Yeah, we haven't had problems.
I've heard other people have good stories about the county, so I don't think they would you're out of here, get off your land.
Eastern Firefox. There's super chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
How's the solar
you're ahead of me
system
now.
holding up? Inverters still good?
Yeah, solar's doing really well. No complaints on that. Inverters, like we had that problem, and we had that seem to have that problem like once a year. Maybe at the beginning of summer, wouldn't you say? Where the inverters just seem to like shut off for a little bit, then come back on. And it seems like toward the beginning of summer, but then they're fine. And it's back then it wasn't even as hot as it is now.
Yeah, that was strange. Well, it's just a couple times.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly what happened the year before too.
Maybe it's having trouble getting like warmed up for the summer.
Could be.
Getting
Plus
heat.
we were really working that thing hard with the air conditioner and stuff like that. So maybe that's an issue. Love you guys and the crew cam. Thank you, Mom. How old were both of you when you started? Well, we're not too much older than we were. We haven't been doing this too long, just a couple of years, but I was 40. She doesn't want to say.
How old was I a couple of years? How old am I now? I don't even know.
36. She was 36 when I started. She's 4 years younger than me.
How much rain this year? Ooh, I don't think I tallied it up.
But I tell
whole year yet.
No, but it's definitely been less.
Yeah, a lot
we
less
haven't
than last year.
Yeah, like you said, you haven't tallied it yet, but it's.
Well, I'm thinking maybe close to 5 or 6 inches.
So we're over half the year, and so far we have less than half of the annual amount of rain. So we could end up coming a little short than the average rainfall.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. It's not over, and the monsoon season isn't over yet. Could still get that rain. Of course, and it's just like I look at I'm always on looking at the weather app and stuff like that because it could change like in a moment's notice. And the rain, like there's just nothing on the forecast. And sometimes rain will pop up, and then you look at it an hour later, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Well, like, what happened?
That's the thing about monsoon rains, I think.
It's very unpredictable.
Like lots of isolated storms, and especially like around the mountains. The storm clouds will form over the mountains, and then there might be rain on one side of the mountain, and the other side is dry, and
yeah,
it's kind of hit and miss. How expensive is the water haul?
And from Maddox and Sons, it's actually not too bad. Like water is free. It's just however long it takes for them to get from there to your place and then back again.
Yeah.
So for where we are, water delivery could be like $180 for 4,000 gallons, which it's actually a lot cheaper than some water delivery companies. Of course, the water delivery technically isn't non-potable, so you got to take that into consideration.
Okay, so let's all go to G Princess's place for supper. Do that. She got ribs.
Oh,
Boston
uh-oh. Party over at G Princesses. 13 Moons Homestead, how's it going? Sorry I'm late. Better late than never. We're always appreciate you being here, helping out. 13 Moons Homestead always does an amazing job. Thank you so much. And of course, she is a contributor
to the summit. Yeah, really awesome, beautiful video she did. And the winter season could be wet, so that could be good for some extra water. Yeah, definitely.
Cindy from AZ, how's it going? Barley and black bean salad tonight. Oh, people are trying to make us hungry. Thank you, everyone, for trying to make us hungry. But man, tomorrow's video is absolutely action-packed. One of the things, and speaking of bees, over at Simply Pam Midlife Prices, they're having bee trouble. We're having our own bee trouble, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's in the video.
Return of the Broby. You caught like a couple videos back, just coined a term, the Broby.
Which is a Yo Gabba Gabba monster.
We discovered that's a Yo Gabba Gabba monster. Whatever Yo Gabba Gabba is. Bye, y'all. Gotta feed Brian. Well, thank you for being here, Simply Pam. Gets to feed him Brian. We don't want him to get too hungry over there. Butcher bacon on the queso maker. I'm too late too. Better late than ever. Making cheesy bread. Uh-oh. People are still trying to make us hungry. But yeah, we got attacked by the Broby, both of us. And both of us got stung. So we were out there working on the root cellar. And then this bee just comes up to me and just starts dive bombing me, pushing up against me, stuff like that. Just like really aggressive. Then I like got under my shirt and I got really upset. And I started freaking out and I ran. And I probably shouldn't have ran because I still got stung, tripped, hurt myself, and then it stung me in the back. I was like, "Gah, gotcha, fool."
And then I think because you got stung, it kind of upset this other bee. You know, when they sting, they release this alarm pheromone, and then it agitates other bees around there. So then that one came after me, and then I got stung.
Now she was in the bottom of the pit, ran out because she was being attacked by the bee, ran around the trailer.
It chased me.
And she's like, I got away. And sure enough, the bee comes back, stings her in the leg.
Yeah.
Built on the Rock Homestead. Neil Hillman asked a question. Did we miss a question?
Yeah, I was gonna just read that.
Okay.
There's been channels that have had their Earthbag building collapse. I don't think they installed barbed wire between the rows. Could that have been what caused the collapse? Yeah, barbed wire is really important between the rows because it kind of acts as a mortar. So like with other types of masonry, like bricks and stuff, you have some kind of mortar, maybe cement or something. The barbed wire, that's the mortar between your rows, and it creates this tensile strength that prevents the bags from like shifting. So I could definitely see that happening if you don't have the barbed wire in there.
Yeah, that's something I would not. I know people want to like looking into Earthbags and they want to build something as inexpensively as they can, but that's one area where I wouldn't cut corners on. Get the barbed wire in there.
4-prong, 2 strands on every row.
Well, you can do the thinner gauge barbed wire depending on what structure you're building. You can do thinner gauge barbed wire. You can do 1 strand if your bags are real thin. But if you're making a structure like this, if you're making a house, go with the thicker gauge barbed wire, 4 strands, and then yeah, double it up. Double it up.
2 strands, 4 prongs.
Did I
You
mess
switch
that up?
that.
Strike that. Reverse it. Any Willy Wonka fans in here?
Getting started on homesteading. What's up?
What's up? Get started on homesteading. Holy cow! Now I'm terrified. Sorry, we didn't mean to scare you on that. Yeah, the thing is, and I don't know about your bees, but I think our bees, these bees could definitely be Africanized hybrid. Seems like the longer they're there, the more aggressive they've been getting. And could be with the warmer temperatures too. When the temperatures warm up, they get a lot more active. They get a lot more aggressive.
Well, I think too, earlier in the spring they weren't like this, and I think they've gotten more established. So the colony's bigger. There's just more for them to defend there, so they could be more defensive.
Once you're done with the root cell, you're going to start another hole and build up. Good question. Once we are done with the root cellar, I'm thinking going to do the other underground portion of the house. That way those holes are kind of locked into place and they're a little sturdier. But that's what I'm kind of also thinking. East cylinder, west cylinder, then east dome, west dome. But you never know, that could change. We did Earthbags here. We had just one big mud puddle. Raven Reese asks, how are you connecting the 2 domes? We're just going to make a little hallway that goes in between the 2 domes, and that'll actually be like the entrance to the house. So that one hallway will have like a front door, a back door, and then an east door and a west door. Houston Firefox, thank you for the super chat. You guys are lucky. I was working on my plane last Saturday, had a yellow jacket stung me right on the forehead.
Whoa.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm glad we haven't seen any like yellow jackets and hornets around here and stuff like that. So far we just have like the bees and the wasps.
Yeah.
And the wasps, forget it. Those things just do their own thing, and you leave them alone, they leave you alone.
I'm glad we have the wasps actually.
Oh yeah.
They keep the spider population in check around here.
Papa Pepper, how's it going?
Could the bees be going after your sweat? Is there anywhere close the bees could get water for cooling their hive? Yeah, we have like at least a couple water sources that I try to keep filled at all times for them. I don't know, it seems like different behavior than just like trying to get moisture.
Yeah, because you were talking about that before.
Yeah, I mean, we do have sweat bees, and they'll come and land on us and like drink our sweat or whatever, but those are tiny little things. And these are, I don't know, they're like dive bombing us, and
yeah, it's not like they're trying to like get the sweat off of us or anything like that. It's not like they're trying to drink it. They want us to move.
Yeah.
They definitely want to get our attention, and they're like, hey, get out of here. High Country Homestead says the sky's the limit. We do what you want. Love and peace. The Honeystead, what's up?
Hey.
All this bee talk, and then I must have the Honeystead senses. Kaylee's senses went off.
What will the walls look like? Drywall, stucco. I think we're gonna do some kind of earthen plaster, maybe a lime plaster.
The butcher, and the baker, and the queso maker says, "We're earth moving machines."
You definitely are. Like constantly
digging and shoveling. Going to be beautiful. How are you going to heat and cool your place? Well,
we're gonna do as much passive heating and cooling as we can.
Yeah, I'm thinking heating is actually going to be more important than cooling. I think with this build that we're doing now, I think it's going to be just excellent during the heat. I think in the winter months, the colder months, maybe we'll have like a rocket mass heater in there or something like that. I think that'll do well. Check out why Snowpiercer is a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
That sounds fascinating.
Where did you purchase your bags from? Why did you choose bags over the long tube sleeves for a dome? Good questions. We actually have the info to where we purchased our bags in the video. We actually have a video, I think, titled like where we got our Earth bags from. You can find all that in that video. But we chose to do single bags versus the tubes primarily because of cost and the width. So I think you're a little bit more limited on the tubes as far as how wide you can get them. I think 18 inches might be the max. They're also usually more expensive because I think they're like made primarily for Earthbag building. So yeah, I think cheaper and then just wider. But the cool thing about tubes is like usually with the tubes you can build faster. You don't have to work with individual bags. You can just keep filling until that whole row is done. Just move all the way around one big tube. And then with the tubes, you probably have a little bit more tensile strength than the individual bags, since it's one continuous bag. So there are advantages to both. You gotta weigh your options. With everything, you always gotta weigh your options.
Bees smell fear, Houston Firefox says. Probably. I mean, especially when you're trying to run.
Well, they shouldn't be dive bombing me like that. That's a good way to up my fear factor. Fear is definitely a factor for us. Now, usually, and when the bee was being really aggressive before, normally I just go about my business and it doesn't mess with me.
Mm-hmm.
With this particular one, like it started really being really aggressive, and then got under my shirt and started doing it. And that freaked me out.
I think you gotta probably watch out for them getting in your clothes.
Yeah.
Because they're a lot more likely to sting you.
When you
probably
can't
think
get up.
that they're getting crushed or something.
I mean, we've done crazy things with bees, and we've never gotten stung.
Yeah.
Until just then. And we're just working on it, and we're pretty far away. I got to be hundreds of feet, at least a couple 100 feet from those hives.
Mm-hmm. Tech Nerds TV asks, any rattlers? I've dealt with 5 these past 2 weeks. Wow.
We've seen one rattlesnake out here so far this year.
Yep.
And we haven't had to do anything with it. It was kind of far out from where we live, so we're just like, let bygones be bygones, just let it be.
I think since we've been out here this year, seeing, I mean, just that one compared to previous years, a lot more. But we have seen a lot more of other kinds of snakes, which is interesting. Like, so I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. Maybe they're out competing them for prey, or even some of the snakes actually do eat small rattlesnakes, like
or their eggs.
The king snake, the coach whip. Yeah, so.
And did you see a gopher snake as well?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
So, we'll love seeing all those kinds of snakes.
Yeah, they're fun.
Oh, Robbie's in the house. Thanks for the trees, Robbie. Manifested to be. Am I really far behind again?
Probably.
Oh man, and we missed another super chat.
Bring out the towel. There you go.
No, I think that's a fear factor for you, isn't it? Houston Firefox.
Sherry says, I'm excited to see you do the windows and doors. That should be
Yeah.
really interesting.
We're excited to see that too. 'Cause we have no idea what we're doing with that, but I think we're gonna custom do everything, right? Custom do the doors and the windows.
Seriously considering that, yeah.
California king snake. They eat rattle. Yep. Anything that takes care of the rattlers and keeps the rattlesnake population down. Oh, Raven Reese says no on the creepy doll. Oh yeah, we haven't done the crew cam yet. Okay.
Now that he's finally settled down.
Yeah, now that he's finally settled down. He's sleeping.
Okay, Leo Wolf said, we will be building our home with Earthbags and was wondering, after we put the plumbing in, we want to refill the hole with gravel and sand and top with earth and floor and then place down. So putting the plumbing in first and then gravel and sand. I think we're kind of doing something similar. Right, we got the
sounds pretty similar to what we're doing.
Gravel, and then we're planning on doing it like an earthen floor on the bottom.
Yep.
And I think the gravel will be good if there is any chance for like a moisture accumulation. You want some kind of capillary break by under your bags. So I think the gravel will help with that. And for our radon protection, we're using that, and then we're gonna put the earthen floor over that and kind of like seal it in.
Mm-hmm. So Sean asks, are you building a frame or posts with footers at all, or is it all earth bags? It should all be earth bags. No footers or anything like that. Even with any kind of foundation, like with the earth bag, if you're going to do a foundation, it's usually just a gravel foundation, nothing like with concrete or anything like that.
So yeah, usually like it's a trench and then you fill it with rubble and gravel.
Nestor says, hey guys, thank you for what you're doing. I'm in Oregon, but if you need help, an electrician or some to help with small carpentry work, I'm your guy. Well, thank you.
Very cool.
Houston Firefox, another super chat, $5. I vote for doll cam with some psycho theme music behind it. Well, maybe around the Halloween time to do that. doll cam.
Okay, Raven Reese asked if we had like a timeline for finishing.
Just the timeline that the county gives us.
It'd be nice to finish before winter.
I would like to finish before. Yeah, we have our own timeline.
What did both of you do before you started this new life?
Good question. I worked as a quality control expert for Coca-Cola. I was a quality control technician.
That means you drank soda all day.
No, technically I didn't drink the soda.
Oh.
I didn't
spat it out?
Yes. Any keynotes you gotta, because you don't want to consume that all day. Just like, okay. But I was actually, you actually develop a real keen taste to that, and you notice those off notes
you're a connoisseur of Coca-Cola.
And all the Coca-Cola flavors.
And I did medical transcription.
Exactly the kind of careers you would think would lead up to off-grid homesteading, right? Lab tech and transcription work.
Robbie asks, aren't you both artists?
We are.
Yes. Not as professions so much. I mean, we've done kind of side gig
Side
art
hustles.
things, but yeah,
And we have degrees.
we do. We're trained, classically trained. I don't know.
Classically trained
Is that what you would call it?
to rock your socks off. And of course, obviously, we didn't use our degrees for what we were working with, but I feel like our degrees come in handy a lot more now than they ever have been.
Oh yeah, I think so.
With the design work and everything we're doing
because
here,
like
all the creative ventures.
When you have to learn art, you have to develop a certain eye for things and like kind of learning how to see things in a certain way, learning how to think in certain like creative ways. That really helps with this kind of life, I think.
Of course, some carpentry classes and some electrician courses would have helped as well. Maybe a little bit more practical. I don't know.
Robbie says thunder, but still no rain here in Vail yet. Yeah, we just got some sprinkles, right?
If that, yeah, just a few drops. Robert Vincent says, I enjoy watching your videos very much. I also really love your camaraderie. I wanted to live in a natural building rather than a stick motor building. I understand they are warmer in the winter and cooler. Yeah. I think natural building, and there are different styles for where you're living at and for whatever climate you're living at. But usually you got to look into building for your climate, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like most of the building that we have around this country really doesn't take that into consideration. It's all kind of like a one style fits all. But I mean, I get it, because you got to build houses, you got to build them, quickly, and
the way like
so everything becomes
things
standardized.
are manufactured, it's like
easy to transport. You can transport some of those materials farther quickly when you do it with like wood and stuff like that. I think that's a big reason.
Yeah, Butcher Baker, the queso maker, said I had to go back to your previous videos to make sure you dug it with an excavator because I missed some vids and had to catch up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do it all by hand.
That would have just taken forever. I don't know.
And there's massive rocks in there.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have been even possible. It would have taken forever.
Crazy. We were considering doing that at first.
You were considering doing that at first. And it's like, you could dig that. I'm like, and I mean, maybe I could have done it, but what would that have done to my body? How long would that have taken? And then, like, you got to consider the cost. Like, how long would that have taken versus having paid $600 to have it done? That might actually be cheaper in the long run.
Does off-grid limit heating options?
Well, it could expand your heating options, really. Usually if you're on grid, usually you're either relegated to electricity or gas. But you're building your own home or something like that, you can do wood stoves, rocket mass heaters.
Yeah,
you can still do propane heaters.
We're thinking of doing like rocket mass heating for our home. And it's supposed to be really efficient and something that we can do here. We don't have a lot of trees here, but we have like stick fuel, and you can use that for heating.
Stick fuel is about all we got. So pharmacy says, always have to consider time investment and how much it will hold up progress. You made the right choice. Yeah, you gotta always gotta weigh those options. I said, it's cost versus time and energy. Always got to take those things. You and me both 13 months old. That she said, I'm glad you didn't try digging it up. I am. But I guess a part of me though, a part of me was like, could I do it? Could I? And just to see if you can. Just to see if you can.
I got a college credit for handling a California king snake, and wow, that's cool.
You guys are an inspiration to me and my wife for moving to a desert with 8 inches of rain and lots of wind, Little Rock, California. Yeah. We got a lot of rain. We got a lot of wind here, but 8 inches of rain is tough. Like I said, you just got to take into consideration, like when those dry periods are. Obviously, it's going to factor into how much catchment you want to put up and how much storage you have so you can get you through those dry times. Junior P says we got about 6 to 8 inches of rain in 2 days here in Minnesota. I feel like somebody's bragging. High Country Homestead said it is awesome that young people like you two will be doing this in the future. Well, thank you. I'm hoping that by us doing what we're doing, maybe it encourages or inspires other people that are thinking about maybe getting into this kind of thing, or maybe it brings new ideas over to them. And I'd like to see more people move to this type of lifestyle. I think it's definitely definitely a more resilient lifestyle, and you're not dependent on the system. And we've all seen just how weak that system can be, just recently. And if you're dependent on that, it could really put you in a bad spot.
Do you use a pump? Get water from the cistern or any other water storages, or is it all gravity fed?
Good question.
So right now, it's gravity fed, right?
Yes, until a certain point. So our poly tanks are above ground, so we can gravity feed until that water gets to a certain level, and then we just got a little pump, plug it in, it starts up automatically, and then we can pump the rest of the water into the trailer if we need. And then we bought an on-demand water pump that we'll put in for the house. So with the house, the cistern will gravity feed water into the house, into the root cellar that we have there, and then we'll pump it into the other areas from there. If you can design it right, depending on various slopes of their land and everything like that, technically you might be able to gravity feed a lot of stuff. Can you imagine like a whole gravity fed system? That would be nice.
Yeah, and
For
depending on
running water.
the slope you have, you can get the water pressure too.
Mm-hmm. Houston Firefox super chat.
Thank you.
What roots exactly are you putting in the root cellar?
Well, hopefully just the edible ones.
Just the edible ones. Desert Blacksmith says we haven't had any rain since February in Northwest and Golden Valley, Arizona. Need rain. Sorry to hear that. Luckily, we're not that dry, but this has been a pretty sad monsoon season so far.
Trina asks, have you looked at using a plate compactor for the tamping?
I have not looked into that, but maybe I'll give that a check. Maybe I'll check that out. I know people have suggested like those machine tampers. And I wasn't too crazy about doing that. Um, I guess something about that kind of machine, that machine might put me off a bit. But I don't know what the cost of renting something like that would be, or how heavy that would be. But the hand tapping does pretty well. Honestly, with these courses, I've been able to tamp this row by myself in about an hour, depending on how hot it is. If it's hot in there, I might need to take a couple breaks, and it might take a little bit longer. But it seemed like doing the tamping the courses for the cistern just seemed to take me forever. But this I've been able to knock it out in an hour, and it's really only like a 6 bag difference. Well, I'll tell you, I know one reason why it's been different. I think I was just really temping the heck out of them in the cistern build, just really going over it, and I was probably wasting a lot of time and a lot of energy. With this, I'm just doing a more regimented tamping routine, hitting it in like 5 times in 6 different areas on each bag.
And that's something you learned from when you did the Rammed Earth.
When I worked with
right?
Ray Clamens for Rammed Earth, just to bring a little bit more, just of a kind of like a rule to go by, just to bring a little bit more structure to it. That way, you have a method to do it. And then if I need a little bit more tamping in some areas, if some areas look a little uneven, I can give it another couple tamps and stuff like that. But I think it's been going a lot faster, and it's probably going to be just as sturdy.
The chickens have been agitated all day. I don't know if you can hear them, but yeah, like this morning, they started making noise kind of early, and I was like, "What's going on?" And you're like, "Well, they're probably just laying eggs."
Or well, I said it's like back when we were living in Coolidge, back when we were living in the city. It's all it sounds like the chickens would make when they're about to lay eggs.
Yeah. But then I heard them. It sounded like they were making some kind of distress kind of noise. I ran out there. Sometimes they do that if a hawk flies overhead or something, but I didn't see any hawks. So I went in the chicken yard, and the chickens come running over like, "Hey, do you have any treats for me?" And they were fine. I didn't see anything. But then I looked in the coop, and something was missing. I've been putting ceramic eggs in the nest boxes. I've been doing that for years, and that kind of helps keep the chickens from eating the eggs. And some of them were missing. So I'm looking like under the straw and stuff and see if they got knocked out or something. I couldn't find them anywhere, and it was weird because like one egg was missing from each nest box, and it was only the brown colored ceramic eggs. It was really weird.
Super weird.
So what I'm thinking might have happened is a pack rat got in there and took them to decorate their nest or something.
And had it like like they were going for something specific, like a specific decoration.
Like these brown ones, not the white ones though. So I don't know. I don't like that there's a rat going in there.
Well, Robin Lanter, we're glad you made it, even though you're working. Be careful. This will be recorded and posted. You can always check it out later if you want to rewatch it. Get out the didgeridoo. Yeah, machine tampers are, yeah. I don't know how well a machine tamper would do for what we're doing. I don't know if that'd be like too much. With solar, what would be the smallest watt system you could use? I don't know. Well, yeah, I think that depends on you and what your needs are. Probably the lowest you can get away with, the better. But I would always like over design your system, give it more than you think you would need, just in case. Find out what you think you need, and then do a little bit more.
Firefox. My property value in West Texas tripled since March. Paid cash, but land company calls to try and buy it back since the illness.
Wow.
Oh,
We've had offers on this land, and it's con artists. They're offering like cash
ridiculously low.
really low. Like we bought it for a really low price, and the price they're trying to offer us is shameful. Thieves, I tell you. Any last questions?
Oh my goodness.
What?
I didn't realize it was that late already.
Oh yeah. The time has flipped. Time is flying by. Man, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This is our time. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Man, we've been so incredibly busy. So thank you for giving us this break from all the things all the craziness that's going on here. But stay tuned for tomorrow's video. So much cool things are happening there. Obviously, the build continues with the root cellar. Then
And our next live is going to be the start of the summit.
yes, so that is going to be crazy. So we'll be talking a lot about that. And the summit is going to be, there's going to be so much content coming at you. But it's very exciting. I think it's going to be really informative. I think it's going to be a really good time. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Always a pleasure. Thank you to our moderators. Do such an amazing job. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Bye.